So we're just here at Palestrina. This is high up, really high up on a mountain top in Italy. This is surrounded by polygonal walls, but where we are now is like the Etruscan Roman sanctuary or temple. This was dedicated to Fortuna, and even Hercules has dedications up here. It was an oracle site, and there's a whole load of amazing history with this, but it's the prehistoric stuff which really gets me, because you know the Etruscans were here. We know there was an Etruscan burial site right nearby, and the polygonal walls are really what we're going to be searching for right now. You see megalithic blocks, Etruscan tombs in the window there, and other such things all over the place here. Have original mini polygonal walls here, probably Roman. It's pretty amazing really, and then they built this whole town up around it. This part is the sanctuary. We've just come down from the museum, and you can see these beautiful buildings with these mini polygonal walls, tiny blocks, like smaller than bricks. It's pretty interesting, quite fun really. But this would have been the sacred space of the ancient people here, where the oracles would have taken place and other such things. And that's the way, there's an entrance in there. We just take up and you can see all the goddesses and gods would have been placed in these niches. And yeah, it's really interesting place, a really fascinating place, Palestrina. So it's well worth a visit if you're looking around the polygonal and megalithic walls of ancient Italy, because this is part of that as well. But it was built upon and used by the Etruscans and Romans and so forth. Interestingly, down below is a polygonal pavement, possibly inspired by the megalith builders of the area. And this again is the temple area. But let's take a walk up here. Let's have another walk around the other side, then we'll go polygonal wall hunting. But it's interesting that this was an oracle site like we find at Delphi and Delos and Dodona in Greece, and we have the same style of construction, not just this style here, but the polygonal megalithic style. So yeah, it's quite interesting that we find all these parallels, also with Egypt as well. There's an Egyptian connection here. Just with that car going by, you can kind of get a sense of scale. Some of these massive polygonal blocks here at Palestrina. Now we're several levels down from the main sanctuary, just a couple of levels down, and this was obviously here before anything else was built on it. There is evidence of prehistoric occupation here, but just look at some of these beautifully cut stones. Clearly these have been very badly weathered. Let's just take a little walk along the wall. Do a lot of this while in Italy, but you can clearly see this is precision engineered, and the steps below almost look like they're a later construction. They're not really part of the ancient wall. You can see the difference there. You can see like the size of the benches compared to the stones there. This is just one of the walls around Palestrina here in Italy. And they've kind of, you know, filled it in with stone. It's got damaged and things like this. But this one on the bottom is interesting. You can see it sort of comes up out of the ground and then just joins up with the rest of the wall. It almost looks like some kind of pattern. So whether that was bedrock or whether that was actually cut and carved and placed is unclear. But this limestone does exist in this area. This area up here apparently is the archaeological area, but I believe we just looked at some of the archaeological area, and you can see some other bedrock here, which is, you know, like you find in Peru, mixed with the polygonal walls. And you can actually see some stones at the end of the fence here, which are polygonal. So that was built up around this spot as well. You can see that here. Look at the shape and size of those. That is quite amazing. So the wall probably was there, and it's been destroyed, and probably the stones used all the way along there, and obviously smaller stones up the top there. And you can see blocks just on the floor down here, which are part of the wall, completely just thrown around. But the next level up we don't see any, but I guarantee we will find more on the levels below this. This is kind of the way it seems to work. This is a chunk of polygonal wall which still exists. This is just the side edge really of the main wall we were just looking at, but you can see it's been sort of, you know, maintained almost, but you can see blocks still lying about all over the ground. If just around there a little bit further, you can see. So this would have been the corner of the wall, the corner of the polygonal wall of the main area of Palestrina. Just behind me here is part of the wall of Palestrina. We're right on the corner, one of the mid levels really, but this is like maybe what, 200 or 300 meters long. It just ends here right where I'm standing, and it goes all the way around Palestrina, which was later adopted by the Etruscans, the Romans and other cultures. There was a great battle here. It became an oracle site with Fortuna and other gods and goddesses, and became a place where the Roman, you know, royalty would come and relax, because it has such an amazing vibe here and amazing views and so forth. So it really is a treat to be here, and I do recommend you check it out if you can. Just here at the Palestrina wall, you can just see this piece here, which is really intriguing. It's like a tiny little kind of piece fitted between the blocks, and this is exactly like you find in Cusco, Sacsayhuaman and other places in Peru. And it's just part of this much greater wall here at Palestrina. This is also an interesting one here. This has got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides. Very intriguing. So you can just see the polygonal walls just in with the houses there. They continue all the way up the hill there, actually behind that part there, and they are down here in town as well, just in the town square. It's pretty amazing. It's everywhere you look, you're finding it. Just even in this restaurant, we just have polygonal walls. And above, Conti & Co restaurant up there as well, and they continue all the way up the hill, up towards the sanctuary in Palestrina.